Step into the darkness, where whispers linger in the shadows and echoes of the past refuse to fade. Tonight, 4 haunting tales will unravel before you. Stories of madness, guilt, and the inescapable grip of fate. Listen closely, but be warned. Some shadows stretch farther than we can see, and some whispers never fade away. Now, close your eyes and let the story begin. The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been, and am. But why would you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all, my hearing, so acute. I heard all things in heaven and in the earth, and many things in hell. How then am I mad? Listen and observe how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me, day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me, never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. It was his eye. Yes, that eye. The eye of a vulture, pale blue, a thin, filmy veil over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so, little by little, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man and rid myself of the eye forever. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. How wisely I proceeded. With what caution, what foresight, what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. Every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening, just enough for my head, I put in a dark lantern, closed, so that no light shone out. Then I thrust in my head, slowly, very, very slowly, so I would not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour, to place my whole head within the opening far enough to see him upon his bed. Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then, when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously, so cautiously, just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. I did this for 7 long nights, every night, just at midnight. But the eye was always closed, so I could not do the work. For it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, as day broke, I went boldly into his chamber. I spoke to him in a hearty tone, calling him by name, inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than mine. Never before had I felt the extent of my own powers, my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think there I was, opening the door little by little, and he not even dreaming of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly, as if startled. Now, you may think I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch, thick with darkness, for the shutters were close fastened in fear of robbers, so I knew he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on. Steadily, steadily. I had my head in and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening and the old man sprang up in bed. "Who's there?" I kept quite still, said nothing. For a whole hour, I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime, I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in bed, listening, just as I'd done, night after night, listening to the death watches in the wall. Then a slight groan, the groan of mortal terror, not of pain, not of grief, but a low, stifled sound that rises from the very soul when overcharged with awe. I knew that sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it had welled up from my own bosom, deepening, with its dreadful echo, the terrors that distracted me. I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt, and I pitied him, though I chuckled at heart. He had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. His fears had been growing upon him. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It is only a mouse, merely a cricket." Yes, he had tried to comfort himself with these suppositions, all in vain, because death had approached him, stalked him with his black shadow, and wrapped the old man in its cold embrace. And now I say, you mistake for madness what is but over-acuteness of the senses. For now there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, like a watch wrapped in cotton. I knew that sound well, too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained, kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless, tried to maintain the ray upon the eye. The hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew, quicker, louder, louder, louder. The old man's terror must have been extreme. Louder, I say. Louder. Do you mark me well? I have told you. I am nervous. So I am. And now, at the dead hour of the night, amid the dreadful silence of that house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes I refrained. Still the beating grew louder, louder. I thought the heart must burst. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leaped into the room. He shrieked once only. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor, pulled the heavy bed over him. I smiled. The deed was done. For many minutes, the heart beat on, muffled, software, but at length it ceased. Stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned. still dark as midnight. A knock at the door. I went down with a light heart. For what had I now to fear? To fear. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope these whispered tales have brought you a sense of peace and relaxation. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you're ready for more tales, check out my other stories in the playlist linked below. Thank you for being part of this peaceful journey with me. Stay calm and come back soon for more whispered stories. Until next time, may your dreams be sweet and your sleep peaceful. Take care. And remember, I'll be here when you need another story to help you drift into a calm and restful slumber.